Hello and welcome to another video. This time I'm going to be talking about Umbrella and my first impressions. Technically these are not my first impressions because I did play her for one day. In the first week she came out on early access and she only had 2 special moves. But back then she wasn't that impressive at all, and I didn't want to base and share my opinion on a very incomplete character. So I waited for her to be mostly done. It seems like she's mostly done, and the changes left are aesthetic changes with new art or sprites for her, and maybe some frame data changes. So as of now, I feel confident sharing my opinion. I've only lapped with her, haven't played against real people. Once I play against real people, I'll also do a video on that, but for now, first impressions. So ignore this real quick. First we're gonna go through movement. So her backdash seems pretty good. She is pretty fast, goes pretty far back, pretty decent backdash. Forward dash doesn't seem that great. It's fast, but it's not that fast as with other characters, and she kind of stops. It feels weird. And she doesn't have any double jumps or air dashes. So she's more like Parasol that way, which Parasol's mobility is one of her biggest downfalls. In my opinion, this makes the character, they needed to do this for this character, because if they didn't make her at the very least bad in the movement department, she would have been too good. I'll elaborate on that later, but right now she seems kind of like a support character maybe? She's weird. So let's get into it now with normals. Ignore this again real quick, I'll go into it later. So normals, regular normals, 9 frame, jab because it goes really far, crouching jab, 6 frames, this is the fastest most characters have any move. Pretty good. Forward punch, light punch, is basically 6p if you play Guilty Gear. As you can see, like Hongren, that's the name of the umbrella, has a hurt box, but Hongren loses the hurt box for the start and for the activation of 6p, meaning this is a pretty good anti-air. So she's got a little bit of a good defense right off the bat. Light punch, pretty stubby, 7 frames, kinda normal for Skullgirls, but still a little too stubby. Crouching light punch is also pretty stubby, but something special about her crouching light kick is that if you do it off a dash, she slides. She doesn't slide that much, but she slides quite a bit, and you don't really need to wait for the dash to come out or do anything. As long as there's a dash first, she slides. Medium punch seems like a regular medium punch, ignore that special. Could be good for neutral because of how far it goes. Goes into a multi-hitting thing. Crouching one goes really far. Crouching medium punch goes into standing heavy punch. I think for max range, yeah, it seems it does. Maybe that's good for hit confirms or something. Kinda strange. Then standing medium kick. It's still a little stubby, doesn't seem that great, but this has different properties I'll go into later. Crouching one, he stomps. The thingy has a hitbox. That was pretty fast. Pretty far, I mean. Then standing heavy punch, you already saw it. It's batters up, causes knockdown on hit. And crouching heavy punch is your launcher. Pretty normal for a Skullgirls character. Then the heavy kick, this one is special for her. Most characters in this game, with the exception of Robo Fortune, cannot combo from their sweep. Umbrella is now one of those exceptions where she can combo off of sweep. Goes into pink bounce, can't combo. She can also cancel into a special and it will hit. No problem. And I think the reason is because her standing heavy kick is different too. It's a built-in cross-up. Goes into a combo. but it doesn't work in the corner. On first glance, you might seem like that's really damn good, but it's 35 frames. Eventually people are going to be able to react to that startup, and you probably won't be able to do it from block stun because push block is there. So I think it's mostly a reset tool, not really an opening up the opponent tool. Now let's go into air moves. So her air jumping light punch is really good. That's a really good thing. On the way up, it's not an overhead, just like Elisa's jumping light kick, where this is really good. Jumping light kick is kind of like your go-to air-to-air. But this one also has a pretty special property. Let's get Peacock jumping. If you hold the button, that happens, making for easy confirms from the air. You need to practice a little bit the timing. It's not that hard, but it's just a little weird because the holding is different from any of the other moves in the game. But there you go, very Teddy from Persona, Ultimax style. Then jumping medium punch seems pretty good, pretty normal Skullgirls thing. Pretty big though, actually. 15 frames, regular startup. Same with medium kick. Pretty good hitbox. 14 frame startup, pretty good. This is probably your go-to instant overhead with Big Band because of something I'll go into later. But this one also has the same property as Parasols. If you hold it, she floats a little and you can control it. I think she can control it a little better than Parasol in the air, but the thing is that, as you saw, if you hold it for too long, she falls and becomes punishable. But the fall has a hitbox too. So there might be a cheeky thing with an assist here. Not entirely sure. Might add an addendum here. Quick addendum. She can actually call assist while doing this, so you might get some nice setups like that. I don't know if she can actually call assist. Oh my god, that's a little crazy. Okay, back to the video. Okay, then jumping heavy punch seems like a combo tool, not really like a neutral tool or anything, because the startup is 22 frames, pretty high. So probably like a combo tool. Jumping heavy kick seems like a combo tool and a reset tool, mix-up tool, because it's a very easy cross-up, as you can see. So probably combo tool, since it also carries all the way back to the ground. Same with heavy punch. I forgot to show you, but let's do it as a command, as a special move. Forward heavy punch does this thing. You can charge it once, and it staggers. But if you charge it, like if they're in the air, and you charge it once, it goes into a whatchamacallit, into a ground bounce. Dummy action jump, please. Which can be used in a combo. Now if you charge it fully to 3, she ground bounces there, and I'm pretty sure she ground bounces here too, but it's kind of hard to do it. Yeah, it's just gonna ground bounce more damage. I don't think you would really ever use the full charge, honestly. Let's continue going. I think that's more of a combo tool. It doesn't have invincibility anywhere, unlike her 6P. We already did these. And those are her normals. Pretty normal normals, if I say so myself, with some exceptions. But the exceptions are kind of becoming normal for Skullgirls characters. Well, here's the thing, you might be wondering what that meter is on Umbrella's portrait. That's, I don't know what they call it, but that's Hungren's meter. Hungren is the name of the umbrella. The more full it is, the more full Hungren is. The more depleted it is, the more hungry he is. And moves change properties. All her moves that involve Hungren change properties. So, as you probably saw and already deduced, all the punches involve Hungren. And all the kicks don't. So it doesn't matter in which state you are, the kicks will be the same. The only things that will change are the punches. She has a taunt, which is a 360 motion with grab, and it depletes her bar. So when, I think this is Ravenous state, when Hungren is hungry, all her normals become better. This becomes a 6 frame, which is really good, and this becomes a 4 frame. That's the fastest jab in the game now. So during Hunger, Ravenous, or whatever it's called, everything she does with the umbrella becomes like normal but better. But if she depletes all her bar, like this, he is starving. And in starving, all the moves lose frame data. They're the same as when the bar is at the middle, but worse. Instead of the same but better, now this is 20 frames, 13 frames, 10 frames, 30 frames, like 25 frames, 15 frames, 31 frames, everything is worse. So when she is when Ravenous hungry, all this moves better as the normal ones, but better on full starving state. All the moves are the same but worse. But when she's hungry, I mean when she's all the way full, the moves also lose frame data, same way, but they also gain new properties. Like medium punch kind of staggers a little bit. Look at how much hit stun there is there, allowing you to combo this into your heavy kick. You cannot do that in any other state because 35 frames is a long time. And you can actually combo this from a light kick into, okay, heavy punch actually batters up now, which is really fun, but you can actually combo into the heavy kick there. No, and in the air, they also have worse frame data, but medium punch causes a ground bounce, and heavy punch also causes a ground bounce, and it doesn't do multi-hits anymore, allowing you to do different combos like that. You gotta look out for that. As you saw, there are special moves that affect your meter. I'm doing right now I'm trying to do that. Let's get to normal again. You know, taunt decreases the bar. And let's start with the one I've been doing. Quarter circle forward light punch. Light, and if you go, you wiggle your stick, or you press light and heavy punch, respectively, or both, you get more damage and he gets fuller. Hungry gets fuller. There's another move kind of like that, which is this one doesn't really change. Just let me tell you, with different levels of hunger, doesn't really change. The only thing that changes is if Hunger is more hungry, she can do max damage. If not, cannot do max damage, but it's the same, and it always ends up in a stagger, allowing you to grab or do something else if you want. And she has a command grab. It's a charge command grab from back to forward and grab. When she's full, it doesn't go far. Well, it goes pretty far for a command grab. It's 47 frames though, but it goes pretty far. You might be able even at full hunger to catch people. And at full hunger, well, you cannot combo, as you can see. The grab also has kind of the same properties. Let's do first the command grab though, because they're kind of the same. If I need to get better at this taunt. I'm using a cheat box, so it should be super easy. Just like this, 360 motions are super easy. So if she is normal hunger, goes pretty far now. And if you keep pressing it, it's easier to combo there, but again, it's still hard. You probably need an assist or something. If she's at if she is ravenous or super hungry instead of just satisfied or full. There we go, I'm better at this now. Goes farther. And again, kind of same properties. And if she's all the way starving, I love you, Hongren. I love you, Hongren. I think this one goes the furthest, going full screen. No, this actually full screen is just when she's hungry, ravenous, whatever. This, again, same as the other one. But same properties. But really only changes when Hongren is full. Grab, if you are satisfied or full, you cannot combo from it. You can combo from it actually if you are hungry. If you are only satisfied. But I think it has specific, like, yeah. It needs to do the full thing. If it doesn't do the full thing, you cannot combo from it. As you saw. Which 3 pips should be enough to combo from it. Probably 4 pips you can combo from it too. But if you're all the way full, it goes into a simple, well, not simple, into a sliding knockdown, which is one of the best knockdowns in the game. But it doesn't really give you that much of an advantage. If you get there, it's just a normal knockdown, it's not that great. You cannot really combo from it unless you do the full thing. And her air grab is deceptively short. What I mean by deceptively short is that if I do it like this, the tongue goes really far, right? But in slow motion, so like we can see the hitbox. Hitbox doesn't cover the tongue, so it's not that as long as the art makes it seem it is. But if you grab like this, let me get her jumping. You're into special state, the bubble state, which I'll go into a little later. But you have time to do whatever you want because of the bubble state. That was like 185 frames. Like, that's a little crazy. And I can go to the other side if I want. And I can still combo. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's her air grab, kind of normal air grab, but it has one of the best properties in the game, it seems. Slurp and slide. This one also changes a lot. On satisfied, on yellow, it doesn't cost anything. It just allows you to be plus. And where is the blocking? It's plus on block. It goes. I have to tell you that all her other specials are minus, are punishable, except Slurp and Slide, which is a charge motion with medium punch. But if he's ravenous, it's +2, and it knocks down. But if he's starving, it does not knock down. It's -7 punishable by the entire cast. And in block, it's -10 punishable by the entire cast. But if Hongren is full, it also knocks down, I'm pretty sure, but it knocks down forward. And on block, it's -13. So you need to be ravenous, hungry, or only satisfied, not full, for that to be your safe special. If you're full, you don't have a safe special. It's kind of strange. Let's keep going through her moveset. Hunger and Rush is her Flash Kick on yellow on Satisfying. Seems like a pretty good one. It has full invincibility from the start. It jails, and basically it's a hit grab DP. I'm not charging enough. I'm really bad right now for some reason. You know, and you can actually use this one as an assist. You could combo from it, maybe. Let's try it. Doesn't seem like you can combo from it unless you have a specific assist or something. Or in the corner, you can probably only combo from it in the corner alone. Yeah, in the corner you can do it. If she is ravenous, hungry. You're the cutest and best. You're the cutest. I love you, Hongren. Again, most of her moves become the same but better. This one is just faster and hits, you know? And you can combo from it. Ravenous State is probably the best thing she can be in, and that's why it's so difficult to keep her there. As you can see, it's super, you can combo from it from anywhere. But on her starving mode, as usual, her moves are the worst. It's just slower, but it's still full invincible, but it's just slower. Once she's full, Hunger doesn't want to eat though, because he's full, as you saw. But it also takes a long time, the longest to come out. And you cannot combo from it. It knocks down, but she cannot combo it by herself. Let's continue with other specials. Just making sure. Now, I think these are the ones that matter the most. So this, you know, Bubble. It's always the same, her light bubble, or circle back light kick. She can only have one of the same type on screen at the same time, and she can actually have two of her bubbles out at the same time. But basically, her light bubble, Hunger needs a butterfly and restores a little bit of hunger. And he can always do it unless he's ravenous. Starving. He's ravenous, he can do it. It's fine. But if starving, cannot do it, but will still eat the butterfly, allowing you to do it now. That's basically it for it. But what's special about these bubbles, let me see if I can show it. I recorded that before starting. See, this one interacts with, like, if I get hit, it disappears. And it actually interacts with other projectiles. So it's not that great, but at full, when she's full, it just gets a little bigger. And it always goes the same set distance. Once full though, it causes a knockdown, which might be pretty good. Now her medium kick bubble always goes the same distance too, like half the screen, a little more, and leaves a puddle. Puddles are pretty important, it seems, to her game plan, because as I said, her medium kick seems like kind of stubby and bad for what they are. Also, medium kick bubble makes Hungren a little more hungry, but her normals get better if you're in the puddle. And you can hit it too, to actually turn it into a hitbox. That has a lot of hit stun, and this one actually pops out. Let's do it. Pops out. And as you can see, once it blows up, It has a hitbox that pops them up a little bit. Pops them up more if you do it with more hunger, with less hunger when you're more full. You can see now with yellow. Doesn't pop them up that much and so on. And if you hit it, it automatically seeks the opponent and pops them up. You know, and it sets up the puddle, which lets you do these things. She's kind of complicated. But actually, I forgot to tell you. Check this out. I got hit, and it doesn't interact with projectiles. It will go, and it will be there, it will stay there, even if you get hit or not. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this one, you can jump with the bubble. It's a little kind of difficult to do it, but if you simply hold up forward, well, when you do it, you can just jump forward, jump back, jump up. You know, so she has a little bit more mobility. But it's still not that great because you have to set it up with this, and it's almost a second to actually come out. So it's not that great, even though it seems to be. But then last and certainly not least, the heavy kick. Let's start with the heavy kick one. Bubble also drains his fullness. Here it goes just like a little bit after mid-screen. And once again... Oh, and I said you can have two at the same time on screen. Of each type, it doesn't matter which. You can control a little bit of space here. Like do this and then this. And you recover your hunger, your fullness or whatever. But this one also does not disappear with interactions with anything. It just goes. If you're ravenous, it goes a little faster. Again, it's kind of the same as usual, and of course you cannot do it the same but a little better. But of course you cannot do it if you are starving. But if you're full, check this out if you're full. Almost full screen. The thing is that if you use it as an assist, it actually goes full screen. As an assist, it actually goes full screen because she appears like here, a little forward from the opponent, meaning it goes full screen. If they go back a little bit and you chase them, it won't go full screen. But then again, even as an assist, it doesn't interact with other projectiles and even ignores assists. This one. And it traps them on a bubble, allowing you to combo and stuff. It's kinda crazy. So let's see. Or rather, oh, now we're on supers. Her supers are always the same, I'm pretty sure, except for one. She has a DMP super, reversal super, does a lot of damage. You know, usual. You know, normal. You can end combos with it and whatnot. Her other super though is very special. Basically Aegis Reflector. I forgot to press the thing, but I'll press it next. You know, it just goes. It's... I get hit, doesn't matter. It reflects projectiles. Depending on what punches you input, it starts from like mid-screen and goes on. Or it goes away full screen. This one is not invincible from startup, but it's still really good. Like, hey Peacock, what are you gonna do? You can't do anything, Peacock. That's the only reason why I'm playing this character now, because I hate Peacock. So that's really good. And the other one, Under the Water, is kind of like her cat heads. And again, and if you're starving, it barely releases any bubbles. And on the others, it's basically more bubbles, but there's more bubbles the more full you are. But as long as you have a little bar, I think it's basically the same, even they are a couple more bubbles. So right now, let's test this. Oh, and you can actually, like, if I hold back, they shoot back. And if I hold forward, they hold forward, and I can do it as long as I want. But right now, let's simply check if they interact with her. They do interact, so they're not as good, but because on full screen, you're like, hey, I control the screen now for 1 bar. What are you gonna do? It's a little crazy. And I think that's the last one. Feeding time level 3. You know, you just do that. It's just like a damaging level 3 command grab? Yeah, I think it's a command grab. But the more full you are, the less damage it does. The more hungry you are, the more damage it does. So here's the thing with Umbrella. Her downsides are the same downsides as a bunch of the other characters, with not good enough movement and not really having that many tools to open you up. She has tools to mix you up, but to open you up, not that much. It's kind of like a Row of Fortune problem, where you have to be more patient. But with her, with 1 bar, you can simply decide to screw neutral. I am neutral now. If you only have 1 bar, you become the neutral. So, but you need to manage her bar. So I think it's the deliberate choice, because her bubbles, her supers, are just too good if you didn't have to manage your hunger bar or fullness bar, and you didn't have like bad movement options, considering the other movement options in the game the other characters have. So I think that's how they're balancing her, giving her something that seems busted, balancing it out by taking away from her things that make a traditional Skullgirls character good. So maybe what you want to do is do a combo, end up with full hunger, with her full, tag her out, and now you can use this assist. Or somehow manage to get her into hungry, ravenous mode, and tag her out and use this as an assist, or maybe the DP as an assist. This is really good, you know. And if you tag her out, her hunger stays the same. It doesn't change. So if you get full, tag her out, she will stay full as long as she's an assist. Doesn't matter how many times you use the assist or whatever, she'll stay full, she'll stay ravenous, so the properties of the assist will stay the same. Maybe that's what you want to do? I don't know. It's weird. She is weird. Also, if you do a combo, let's like if I start a combo here, as you saw, the bar went into where it was supposed to be yellow, but it camped blue. That's because if you start a combo in a state, doesn't matter where your hunger is, the combo, your properties will stay in that state. If you're in the yellow satisfied state and it goes to starving or hungry, ravenous, the combo will act the same until you end the combo. The other mode will kick in. So this is just, I think, to make it easier for you to actually do combos. So, in my opinion, she might be a very hard counter pick against Peacock. and maybe it. She seems like a hard counter pick against some of the top tiers like Peacock and Heavy Brass Assist because of the bubble that goes full screen if you use it as an assist. It's crazy. She might be a really good support character because of her assists and DHCs seem to hard counter some of the top players, top characters in the game. But when she's out on front, she seems to need to do a lot of work. So again, kind of like a Roll of Fortune, the thing with Roll of Fortune is that Roll of Fortune has good movement and low damage. Umbrella has bad movement, big damage. So who knows where she really will be, but in my opinion, I don't think she will be as bad as Robo was when she first came out, or be a little forgotten like Painwheel was during one of the patches some years ago. I think she will be fine. I still don't know if she will be busted or simply as a counter pick or just a good support character. But we'll see as the game moves along. Some of my impressions. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think.